Okay, so the 2021 Maths Mock Paper 1. Question 10 tells us that an open-top cardboard box has dimensions as shown below. A square of side x centimeters is cut from each side to form the box. Show that the internal volume of the box is given by v of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 46x squared plus 130x. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we know that the volume is going to be equal to the length by the width by the height. And we're going to say the length is going to be 13 minus 2x. Then we can say that the width is going to be 10 minus 2x. And the height is going to be x, as it was a square that was cut out. Okay, now all we have to do is expand this out. So I'm going to multiply x into this bracket here. So it's 10x minus 2x squared. And now multiplying out this bracket and then bringing like terms together. Then all we have to do is rearrange it. So we get v of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 46x squared plus 130x. Now moving on to part 2. It asks us to find the value of x that will maximize the internal volume of the box. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So as we know, the volume of this box was given to us as a cubic function. So it'll look something like this, very roughly. So it's going to have 2 points for a max or a min. So to find those 2 points, all we need to do is differentiate the function and let it equal to 0. So we have the function v of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 46x squared plus 130x. If we were to differentiate that, we would get 12x squared minus 92x plus 130. Now we let that equal to 0. And since we have big numbers, we're going to go to our log tables. And we are going to look here at the minus b formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so subbing in our values for this. Okay, now you can bring that all over into your calculator. Okay, so we have our first answer there of x is equal to 5.8. And we simply have to go back and change that sign to a minus. And we get our second answer of x is equal to 1.9. Now we know that this x value cannot be 5.8 because the length of one of the sides is 10. So if we were to take 5.8 away from that twice, that is not possible. So the answer is x is equal to 1.9 centimeters. Okay, now part 3 says if the value of x is chosen to be an integer closest in value to the value that will maximize the volume of the box, calculate the volume of the box. Okay, so we just found the value of x that will maximize the volume, which is 1.9. So the closest integer to that is 2. And now all we have to do is sub that into the equation that we got for v of x earlier. And if you put that all into your calculator, you get a value for the volume being 108 centimeters cubed. Okay, now part B says the number of subscribers, n, to a new mobile phone network can be modeled using the function n of t is equal to ae to the power of bt, where a is the initial number of users in 2017 and t is the number of months after the network launched. At the initial launch on January 1st, 8,500 users subscribed to the network. 4 months later, 22,500 people had subscribed. Using the information above, find the value of A and the value of B. Give B correct 4 decimal places. Okay, well, finding A is easy because it says here that A is the initial number of users. And it also tells us that at the initial launch, 8,500 users subscribed. So here we can just say A is equal to 8,500. Now to find B, we need to know all the other values in the equation, which luckily we do. We know that N of T is equal to 22,500 and T will be equal to 4 months. Okay, so once we have all of our values subbed in, we can start to rearrange it. So if we divide across by the 8,500, we'll get that is equal to e to the power of 4b. And to get rid of this e, we need to natural log each side. And then to get b on our own, we simply need to divide that all by 4. So now you can just put that all into the calculator. And rounding it to 4 decimal places, you get a value for b is equal to 0.2434. Now part 2 says, if the network continues to grow at this rate, how many users will have subscribed 1 year after the launch? Okay, so in this case, we want to find n of t. We know that A is equal to 8,500. We know that B is equal to the 0.2434 that we just found. And T will be equal to 12. So subbing all of that into the equation. And now we can simply put all of that into the calculator. And rounding it to the nearest whole number, you get a value for n of t is equal to 157,727. And then part 3 says, after how many months will 45,550 people have signed up to the network? Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So in this case, we know that n of t is equal to 45,550. A is equal to 8,500. B is equal to the 0.2434, and we don't know what T is. Okay, so subbing our values in, and now we simply have to rearrange. So we divide across by 8,500. We have to natural log each side to get rid of the E. And then we can divide across by 0.2434 to get the T on its own. And now you can just put that all into the calculator. And rounding it to the nearest decimal place, we get an answer for T is equal to 6.9 months. And that's question 10 all finished.